Before starting, put the auto-generated YouTube subtitle dissolve into the horizon. For centuries we were free from the shackles of gravity. We built mating and unity. Yet for all our advancements, mechanical failure or the unpredictable whims of nature, listen and learn English as exploring our world. The sky above, a vast and endless blue, a realm we humans have long yearned to conquer. It stretches out infinitely, a canvas of dreams and aspirations, where the boundaries of Earth dissolve into the horizon. For centuries we could only observe the birds soaring effortlessly, their wings carrying them to distant lands. They were the original aviators, masters of the skies, inspiring countless generations to dream of flight. But with ingenuity and determination, we too took to the skies. The Wright brothers' first flight was a mere 12 seconds, but it marked the dawn of a new era, an era where humans could finally break free from the shackles of gravity. We built magnificent machines, crafted from metal and powered by engines that roared with the promise of adventure and exploration. These early aircraft were marvels of engineering, each one a testament to human creativity and perseverance. These aircraft, symbols of human ambition, promised to connect us across continents and cultures. They shrank the world, making distant lands accessible and bringing people closer together, fostering understanding and unity. Yet for all our advancements, we must remember the delicate balance upon which air travel rests. The sky, while beautiful and inviting, is also unpredictable and unforgiving. The very forces that allow us to defy gravity, to soar above the clouds, can also turn against us in an instant. Turbulence, storms, and mechanical failures are constant reminders of the risks inherent in flight. This is a story of those tragic moments when human error, mechanical failure, or the unpredictable whims of nature transform these vessels of dreams into instruments of tragedy. Each crash is a somber reminder of the fragility of life and the ever-present need for vigilance and improvement. This is a time to remember the lives lost, the families forever changed, and to reflect on the lessons learned from each heartbreaking event. In honoring their memory, we strive to make the skies safer for all who dare to dream of flight. The Tenerife Airport Disaster. The Canary Islands and the bustling Los Rodeos Airport. This island was shattered by a disaster that no one could have foreseen. Convergence of missteps and miscommunications. A bomb threat at their original destination. These overwhelmed. The terminals were crowded. The runway had a perfect storm of circumstances that would lead to tragedy. The Canary Islands are a paradise for tourists from around the globe. Tenerife, the largest of these islands, is home to stunning beaches, volcanic landscapes, and the bustling Los Rodeos Airport. This island, with its unique blend of natural wonders and modern amenities, attracts millions of visitors each year. The Los Rodeos Airport, nestled amidst the island's rugged terrain, serves as a vital gateway for these travelers. On March 27, 1977, this typically idyllic destination became the backdrop for an unimaginable tragedy, an event that would forever change the course of aviation history. The serene atmosphere of Tenerife was shattered by a disaster that no one could have foreseen. This event would forever etch itself into aviation history, becoming a somber chapter in the annals of air travel. The Tenerife Airport disaster is a stark reminder of the fragility of human life and the importance of safety in aviation. What began as a series of unfortunate circumstances, a chain of errors seemingly beyond human control, quickly escalated into a full-blown catastrophe. The sequence of events that unfolded on that fateful day was a tragic convergence of missteps and miscommunications. This culminated in the deadliest aviation accident in history, a disaster that claimed the lives of 583 people. The wreckage and the aftermath left an indelible mark on the world, serving as a grim testament to the perils of air travel. 2. Boeing 747 jumbo jets, KLM Flight 4805, and Pan Am Flight 1736, found themselves unexpectedly diverted to Los Rodeos due to a bomb threat at their original destination. These massive aircraft, each carrying hundreds of passengers, were forced to land at an airport that was not equipped to handle such an influx. The bomb threat that caused the diversion was just the beginning of a series of unfortunate events. The sudden arrival of these flights at Los Rodeos Airport created a chaotic situation, with the airport struggling to accommodate the unexpected traffic. The airport, ill-equipped to handle such a large influx of passengers and aircraft, quickly became overwhelmed. The terminals were crowded, the runways were busy, and the staff was stretched thin, trying to manage the situation as best as they could. As the fog rolled in, shrouding the runway in an eerie blanket of white, visibility became a major issue. The dense fog created a disorienting environment, making it difficult for pilots and air traffic controllers to see and communicate clearly. The stage was set for disaster. The combination of poor visibility, overcrowded conditions, and the pressure to manage the situation created a perfect storm of circumstances that would lead to tragedy. Visibility plummeted, communication became muddled, and the already tense situation grew even more precarious. Pilots struggled to navigate the foggy runway, while air traffic controllers tried to manage the chaos from the control tower. A series of misunderstandings between the pilots and air traffic control set in motion a chain of events that would have catastrophic consequences. The miscommunications and errors compounded, leading to a tragic collision that would forever change the landscape of aviation safety. Japan Airlines Flight 123 Japan, a Boeing 747 carrying 500 to Japanese Alps, an undetected flaw in the area on Earth. Its towering mountains, shrouded in mist and legend, have captivated poets and artists for centuries. On August 12, 1985, one of these majestic peaks, Mount Takamagahara, would bear witness to an unspeakable tragedy. Japan Airlines Flight 123, a Boeing 747 carrying 524 souls, was en route from Tokyo to Osaka, a routine domestic flight on a seemingly ordinary day. The flight took off without incident, the passengers settling in for the short journey. Families chatted excitedly, businessmen pored over their documents, and children gazed out the windows, their faces pressed against the glass. As the 747 cruised at its cruising altitude, high above the rugged Japanese Alps, an undetected flaw in the aircraft's tail section, a repair conducted years earlier, was about to unravel with catastrophic consequences. Charkhi Dadri mid-air collision. Long shadows obscuring the view from the cockpits. Wreckage, a grim testament to the tragedy. One, a Saudi Arabian Airlines Boeing 747 carried pilgrims on their journey home. The other, a Kazakhstan Airlines Ilyushin Il-76, transported hopeful traders seeking new opportunities. Unbeknownst to those aboard, their paths were about to intersect in the most tragic of ways. The setting sun cast long shadows, obscuring the view from the cockpits. A communication error, a misunderstanding of instructions, a moment of misjudgment. On that fateful evening of November 12, 1996, these two aircraft, carrying hundreds of souls, found themselves on a collision course. The consequences were catastrophic. The impact, a deafening roar that echoed across the Haryana countryside, shattered the tranquility of the evening. Wreckage, a grim testament to the tragedy, rained down upon the fields below. For the 349 souls aboard those two planes, their journeys ended not at their intended destinations, but in a desolate field near the village of Charkhi Dadri. Turkish Airlines Flight 981. Chaos. As the DC-10 climbed through the sky, etched not only in sorrow, but also in the hard lessons they impart. Turkish Airlines Flight 981, a McDonnell Douglas DC-10, embarked on a routine flight from Paris to London, carrying a mix of holidaymakers, businessmen, and families returning home. Unbeknownst to them, a silent danger lurked within the very structure of their aircraft. A design flaw, a faulty cargo door latch, lay dormant, waiting to unleash chaos. As the DC-10 climbed through the skies above France, the pressure differential between the cargo hold and the passenger cabin grew. The faulty latch, unable to withstand the strain, gave way. The cargo door ripped off, causing an explosive decompression that tore a gaping hole in the fuselage. Saudi Arabian Airlines Flight 163. Smoke, acrid and thick, began to fill the cabin. Passengers boarded Saudi Arabian Airlines Flight 163, a Lockheed L-1011 TriStar, bound for Jeddah. Among them were families returning from pilgrimages, businessmen traveling for work, and students eager to return home. As the TriStar roared down the runway and lifted into the clear blue sky, nothing seemed amiss. But within minutes, a terrifying ordeal would unfold. Smoke, acrid and thick, began to fill the cabin. Panic spread like wildfire as passengers and crew realized the gravity of the situation. An electrical fire, ignited in the rear galley, was rapidly engulfing the aircraft. Iran Air Flight 655. Wrenching tragedy, a stark reminder of the fragility of Gulf. A routine flight took to the air on July 3, 1988. Iran Air Flight 655, a passenger jet carrying souls from many walks of life, embarked on what should have been an uneventful journey to Dubai. Families returning from pilgrimages, businessmen heading to meetings, their hopes and dreams held aloft by the promise of flight. Little did they know, their journey would end in a heart-wrenching tragedy, a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the ever-present potential for human error to yield catastrophic consequences. The azure waters of the Gulf stretched beneath Flight 655, reflecting the clear summer sky. Passengers settled into their routines, unaware that a tragic misidentification was about to unfold. American Airlines Flight 191, aircraft poised to join the symphony of air traffic, bustled below as American Airlines Flight 191, a wide-body DC-10, prepared for takeoff. On board, 258 passengers and 13 crew members anticipated their journeys, some heading for business engagements, others eager to reunite with loved ones. The air crackled with anticipation as the powerful engines roared to life, the massive aircraft poised to join the symphony of air traffic crisscrossing the globe. Tragically, unbeknownst to all on board, a fatal mechanical flaw had set the stage for a catastrophe that would forever scar the city of Chicago. As Flight 191 ascended, gaining altitude over the urban landscape, a critical component of the left wing failed. The engine, no longer firmly attached, tore away from the wing, sending shock waves through the aircraft. Air India Flight 182 high above the behind, yet, in the blink of an eye, this tapu, a Boeing 747 jumbo jet, soared through the skies, carrying 329 souls on a journey from Montreal to London. Among the passengers were families returning from vacations, students pursuing dreams abroad, and individuals simply seeking new horizons. The atmosphere on board was likely a tapestry of emotions: excitement for the journey ahead, perhaps a tinge of sadness at leaving loved ones behind. Yet, in the blink of an eye, this tapestry would be torn apart, leaving behind a void filled with unimaginable grief. As Flight 182 cruised at altitude, a chilling act of terrorism, orchestrated by extremists, unfolded. A bomb, concealed within the cargo hold, detonated with devastating force, shattering the aircraft into countless pieces. Malaysia Airlines Flight MH17, 15 crew members. Among the passengers were seasoned rose, casting its warm glow upon the earth. Birds sang, their melodies filling the air. At airports around the world, families bid farewell to loved ones, unaware of the tragedy that awaited one particular flight. Malaysia Airlines Flight MH17, a Boeing 777, was scheduled to fly from Amsterdam to Kuala Lumpur, carrying 283 passengers and 15 crew members. Among the passengers were seasoned travelers embarking on new adventures, families returning home after holidays, and individuals setting out to reunite with loved ones. Each passenger carried their own story, their own hopes and dreams, oblivious to the dark fate that awaited them in the skies above eastern Ukraine. The flight took off without incident, the plane soaring gracefully into the azure sky. Pan Am Flight 103, awaiting the arrival of loved ones returning home for the holidays, all eager to reach their destinations and celebrate their own story, their own hopes and dreams for the wonder at the sight of the world below. The scent filled the air, and a spirit of joy and anticipation filled the hearts of many. Streets bustled with last-minute shoppers, and the air was crisp with the promise of snow. At London's Heathrow Airport, families gathered, eagerly awaiting the arrival of loved ones returning home for the holidays. The terminal was a hive of activity, with people exchanging hugs and laughter, their faces lit up with the joy of reunion. Among the many flights preparing for departure was Pan Am Flight 103, bound for New York City's JFK Airport. The plane stood ready, a symbol of connection between continents, promising to bring people closer together. On board were 243 passengers and 16 crew members, all eager to reach their destinations and celebrate with loved ones. Each person carried with them a unique story, a personal journey that had led them to this moment. Families returning home for Christmas, their hearts filled with the warmth of anticipated reunions, students flying back after a semester abroad, excited to share their experiences and adventures, and tourists looking forward to experiencing the magic of New York City during the holidays. Each passenger carried their own story, their own hopes and dreams for the future. The plane was a microcosm of the world, filled with diverse backgrounds and shared humanity. The atmosphere on board was one of excitement and anticipation. Conversations buzzed and laughter echoed through the cabin as strangers became friends, united by the journey ahead. Christmas carols played softly through the cabin, adding a touch of festive cheer to the journey. Children peered eagerly out of the windows, their eyes wide with wonder at the sight of the world below. The scent of freshly brewed coffee filled the air, mingling with the aroma of holiday treats, creating a comforting and familiar atmosphere. As the plane taxied down the runway and lifted gracefully into the night sky, passengers settled into their seats, ready for the journey ahead. The twinkling lights of London slowly faded into the distance, a beautiful farewell to the city as the plane soared higher, carrying its precious cargo of dreams and aspirations into the night.